you laughing at?
Nothing. Let's not do this
You
again.
already know this is the intro now. Let's not
do this again.
Why are you smiling at me in a sinister way?
Because I'm just dead happy to see you this morning and do some news with you. Why?
Nothing wrong with that. TGIF and all that. You're allowed to smile, Andrew.
I'm glad. I thought you were just going to pin some sort of blame on me.
Go on, give us a bit. Ding! There you go. Here's your news. Major WWE stars are in doubt for SummerSlam 2021. Backstage details on Malakai Black's AEW debut. And why did a top Impact star turn down a recent WWE offer? Stay tuned. Kicking things off with some pretty disappointing news as far as I'm concerned. A couple of top stars looking very unlikely to appear at this year's SummerSlam. SummerSlam is, of course, being sort of viewed by the company as important as WrestleMania. It's meant to be a very, very big deal this year. And two of the names that have been thrown around for a while, honestly, I thought we'd be getting one, if not both of them.
Yeah.
First off, John Cena. Many sources stating that John Cena will be in the SummerSlam main event against Roman Reigns. They've been doing the little teasers here and there, doing the interviews and that, especially Roman. But Variety reporting that John Cena has signed on to star in Argylle, a new movie franchise with Samuel L. Jackson, Bryan Cranston, who I love. I'd rather see him at SummerSlam, to be honest. I'm a big fan. Anyway, Henry Cavill. But shooting starts in August next month, which will likely prevent him from being a part of SummerSlam because it's in another continent. And I guess he would... I mean, he's been doing it for long enough that he could probably just come in, have a match, and that'd be fine. But I don't want to see a feud with Roman Reigns and John Cena built via video links and that sort of stuff. You sort of want him there in the build-up on SmackDown, don't you? So I'm not sure it's so much that he can't do August 21st for SummerSlam, but it's all the stuff leading up to that maybe he can't do, thanks to that bastard Bryan Cranston.
Oh, Brian, what you doing, Brian? He's cooking. He must be cooking some good blue, sugary, sweet treats.
That'll be it.
Yeah.
Some Kool-Aid.
Yeah, that's so cool.
That's what he was making, right?
Yeah.
So that's disappointing news, as I say. The other, which might not disappoint people quite as much as Cena, Brock Lesnar. Andrew Zarian on the Mat Men podcast saying they wanted Brock for whatever reason. The plan didn't work out. I believe it was creative-wise. It just wasn't fitting. Financially, they wanted Brock to commit to live shows. It's not that it's not going to happen. It's going to happen unless something goes tremendously terrible, which I don't think it will. I think we're going to see Brock. I just don't think he's needed for SummerSlam if they have it planned out already. If Brock calls them and goes, hey, I want to do it, then yeah, they're going to figure it out. But I don't believe Brock is going to be on there. So it's looking like we're going to see Brock again. That's to be expected, but it's not going to be happening at this year's SummerSlam. It surprises me, the sort of with the thinking there that it's a creative thing. I thought really the only thing getting in the way would be finances.
Well, exactly. I don't think Brock necessarily needs a storyline, does he? He just comes out, he's there, and then he's there. That's it. He's just in. So I don't really see all this like he's not fitting in kind of stuff.
It's a weird one, isn't it?
We'll see. Yeah, it is. It really is. Maybe he will just turn up. I guess only time will tell.
Legit, with the exception of Rock Roman, Brock Bobby, and Roman Cena are the two matches that I think I want to see the most.
Yeah.
And that's no disrespect to the current WWE roster. I know I've picked a couple of part-timers there. But those are a couple of dream matches as far as I'm concerned.
Well, yeah, of course they are. And I mean, with what people have been talking about this SummerSlam being WrestleMania, like a WrestleMania caliber show, they are WrestleMania caliber
huge
matches, aren't they, as well?
That's the thing with SummerSlam. I really want this to be a bit of a soft reset for WWE. Like, crowds are back, obviously, Money in the Bank and moving forward. Like, they're out of the Thunderdome after next week, which has been pre-recorded. But I really want this to be like, I want them to throw everything at it.
Yeah.
And maybe they will do that. We'll see. But, fan interest in wrestling is so low right now. If they put on the show to end all shows, that would be really, really handy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, without a doubt. And especially now, obviously, with AEW picking up too, I think it's a good idea to start bringing in all the big names and stuff again and getting the hype back behind WWE.
Brian bloody Cranston bastard. Anyway, there's also concern for SummerSlam in general. Las Vegas locally tweeting last night, multiple major events are in danger of being cancelled because of the COVID-19 outbreak happening in Las Vegas. So
it's not going well, is it?
Yeah, there's the cherry on the the cake. Well, we'll see on that. I don't want to sit here and talk about COVID. Obviously, it would suck if SummerSlam was cancelled in Las Vegas because it's a great place to hold the show. But it's one of those time will tell things. Over to the other side now. Malakai Black making his AEW debut, of course, this week. He's taken to Thea Trinidad's Twitch channel to discuss that debut, offering a few little details on ideas for his character, his music, future plans. You know what? This sounds bad, but where Zelina Vega's back in WWE now, I thought she wasn't going to be allowed to do the Twitch thing. So it's kind of cool to see that maybe she's worked that into her contract. I didn't even sort of, until I read this, I was like, oh yeah, that's.
Thinking about that, that's genuinely a really good point. Obviously now with them both in separate companies. Sorry, like that. I guess that is quite a big thing. That never even clicked in the first place. But yeah, perhaps maybe there's some change in behind the scenes at WWE there that we'd not thought about. I don't want to speculate about it, but you know.
I bet she had that written into her contract. I think she might be one of the exceptions to the rules. Like we see it with NXT stars, they seem to have a different. Like Adam Cole's good to chug on with it. But yeah, I reckon she's made sure she can continue doing that. Yeah, which is good because I can resell to our OnlyFans then as well. What's he been saying anyway? Tommy End.
He's been saying, our big Tommy End, our Malakai Black, Adam has been saying, once I found out that my contract was a tad different than the usual, I just came up with this idea. We made it a thing to make it available to as limited people as possible because that's how you keep it under wraps. That's obviously the debut of Malakai Black in AEW. Security, Cody Rhodes and a few others. It may have been 5 or 6 total people. It was all very last second. I feel like in modern day wrestling, there are a few moments to make a genuine surprise and get people to look your way. For me to sneak in, not be seen, dip and dive so they wouldn't see me, that took some skill. He goes on to talk about the blackouts throughout the show as well. He says, I pitched the idea and said, what if we do multiple blackouts throughout the show, and insinuated the technical difficulties. Commentary did a great job getting that over and it came off great. It feels good where I'm in a place where my creative mind can be utilized instead of stopped and controlled, and knowing that things weren't going to work. So, I mean, that's a big thing, I think, for a lot of people, isn't it? Going over to AEW, having their own sort of creative control and ideas that they want to push forward.
And you could tell when he had the release from WWE how gutted he was because he was talking about the sort of reintroduction of his character and all that. He had all these ideas, and I think a lot of them were really strong ones. So it's good that they're giving him a chance to do some of that. He's also commented on the sort of general joining AEW, saying it was the right move for me to make for me, my family, my career, and the state of mind I'm in. It's just a really good company. I can't say enough good things about it. They have a bright future. It was one of the top 3 moments, favourite moments of his career, he said. The culmination of months and months and months and months of having this big payoff, and it was worth the pain, chaos, and perseverance. And he's bigged up Tony Khan as well. He always do. He's your boss. My first impression of Tony is great. What a flipping wonderful dude. Really nice guy. Loves his company. Loves wrestling. There you go. Why don't you just suck him off? Moving over to NXT now here in the UK. And a very, very exciting rematch for the NXT UK Championship has been announced in 2 weeks' time. Ilya Dragunov taking on Walter. I mean, it was one of the best matches of last year, wasn't it? It was
so good,
brilliant, and
I mean, I don't know how they're going to top that because Ilya Dragunov looked like he was going to die in that match. Walter was just dishing out the chops like nobody's business. So if they're going to go harder than last time, I don't know if someone's actually. I feel like someone might walk out in a body bag, Adam, and that's not even an exaggeration.
In a body bag.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, I look forward to seeing it. They need to get you on creative, Andrew.
They do, don't they?
Yeah. Do you reckon he's got a chance?
Do you know what? Because it's a rematch, maybe. But then I don't think. No, actually, thinking about it, I think they'll wait until crowds, won't they? Someone to topple Walter. and then get like just a huge push behind him. That's
thing is, I don't see anyone. No disrespect once again to the roster of NXT UK. I don't see anyone on that roster right now as it stands. I mean, we've had so many. I thought Rampage might be the guy. I don't see anyone who's going to topple Walter.
Not
we will see. Finishing off with the news of why a top Impact superstar chose Impact over WWE. It's Moose, of course. Guest on the podcast Mina's House and discussing that offer. What's he said?
He said, I've had chances to go to WWE and had an opportunity to go there not too long ago, but turned it down to stay with Impact. I just felt like right now, Impact was better for me with what they offered and the schedule and how I'm being used. We'll see what happens with WWE in the next couple of years. He goes on to say, I would say at Impact, you have more creative control than you do elsewhere. There are things that they might tell me I'm going to do, and if it makes me look a certain way, I might tell them how much I dislike it, and out of respect, just not do it or make it better for me. But sometimes that doesn't always work. It's 50-50 on creative. I've never worked for WWE, but I've heard stories. The difference with Impact is you usually know what you're going to do, and you can pitch them on how to make it different or better. Sometimes they go with it, sometimes they don't. In WWE, it doesn't matter what you think or say, they go with what they want. So he's also revealed that he signed with Impact for 2 years as well. So it looks like he's very much staying firmly there for now.
For sure. We just hear it again and again, don't we? Just the creative thing. I think it's awesome that, there are lots and lots of different places for wrestlers to work now. But there are so many places that are offering that creative freedom that WWE clearly don't.
Yeah, and I think there's more opportunity for wrestlers in Impact at the moment as well with the what's the word, Adam? Let me think about it. With the
ring.
Not with the
wrestling
ring.
Moves.
Where,
you know,
where two things are together. Like the relationship. The relationship. That's what I'm talking about. The relationship between Impact and AEW. Wrestling journalist. I'm not, but right. The relationship between AEW and Impact, that gives wrestlers a lot more variety and choice to do many different things as well, I think. So I think that's probably the right place for Moose at the moment. I think he's doing fantastic
they're pushing
things.
Him hard. They're
exactly.
pushing him hard. Honestly, give it like 3 months in WWE, it'll come out as a literal moose. So probably best to stay put for a bit. Anyway, this has been the what's the word? News video with Adam and Andrew. Thanks very much. We'll be back in a couple of. I love you, buddy. See you in a bit. Bye.